Hello, welcome to Guild Spotlight number 6. Today's guild in the spotlight is a level 25 Alliance guild on the US Moonrunner server. That guild is the one, the only, Business Time. That's right, Business Time. Business Time is a 10-man raiding guild that raids 4 hours a week. Is very closely tight-knit guild with a very small roster in terms of its raid. And it's run by Vidyala, who you might also know as the Pugging Pally. Now, Vidyala does not raid as her Pugging Pally. She actually tried to do that last expansion at some point and was completely, wholeheartedly miserable. So she's been forbidden to ever main her paladin ever again. So she will continue to play her mage Milia, despite their need for a paladin. So let's go take a look at their website, businesstimeguild.com. That is businesstimeguild.com. They are looking for a strong paladin hybrid who can play Retribution and Holy. So we're not looking for tank Ret or tank Holy. We're looking for Ret Holy, which is basically all they're looking for. But that's fine. Go check them out. Let's talk a bit about their progression and such. They are currently 8 of 12 in Throne of Thunder, normal modes. And like I said, they only raid 4 hours a week. How does that break down? That is Mondays, always Mondays, and occasionally Wednesdays or Thursdays. They'll always raid twice a week, but whether it's Wednesday or Thursday depends on people's real life schedules. So one week they could raid Wednesday, one week they could raid Thursday, but they always raid Mondays. And those times are 6:30 to 8:30 Pacific time, which for the East Coasters amongst us is 9:30 to 11:30 p.m. So a really light raid week, just 4 hours a week. Sounds nice, doesn't it? In case you're wondering about Business Time and their history, they were one of the progressive 10-man guilds back in Wrath of the Lich King. They actually pushed relevant content on 10-man, and that was a little strange because, everyone up until Wrath of the Lich King was raiding in 40-man or then 25-man difficulties. And then along comes Wrath when you can have 10-man raids, and Business Time just went to it, and they were quite successful at that. So this is sort of the evolution of Business Time. They've taken a step back from the progression, and now while they're still doing stuff, obviously they're still doing stuff, they're doing it a little more casually, a little bit more relaxed, but, and I can see this from experience, they are awesome players. I'm not even joking. One night at some point back last expansion during Cataclysm, Vidyala on her mage Milia was looking to complete her staff, the legendary staff, and they were short. They didn't have enough people for a Firelands run, and they needed DPS in particular, as I recall, range DPS if at all possible. And I'm like, oh, well, I hope you managed to get somebody. And Vid writes to me and she's like, Kurn, what are you doing on Saturday night or whatever it was? And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, would you maybe perhaps like to go to Heroic Firelands with me? And I'm like, okay. And she's like, on Kurn. And I'm like, really? Oh boy. Okay. So I actually went with them, and we went 6 of 7 heroic Firelands, which was everything that they had cleared in just a couple of hours, and they were dragging me on my hunter along with them, and I got to do special tasks on, Beth Talak, and was soaking on Bale Rock. I was very impressed, and I felt like a complete scrub, and I'm, normally a raid leader, or I was normally a raid leader at that point in time, so it's not like I didn't know the fights, but I felt like a scrub, because these people were all pretty much awesome. And also, if you've never gotten to raid with an angry French-Canadian raid leader, this is definitely the guild for you. Vid's husband, Voss, is the raid leader, and one of the tanks in Business Time, and he's awesome. And French Canadian, and occasionally angry. And honestly, you just gotta you have to live through him swearing in French to live at all, I find. Anyway, so that's my personal take on Business Time. They are a great guild, great people, great personality. Like I said, only 4 hours a night, or rather a week, 2 hours a night. And they are definitely looking for a flexible paladin hybrid who can play Ret or Holy equally well. You should check them out at businesstimeguild.com. And honestly, help them out so that Vid doesn't lose her mind and be forced to actually main her paladin, because that wouldn't make anybody happy. All right, so thanks very much for watching, and we will catch you tomorrow with yet another guild spotlight.